Oh, yes. Oh, man. Here we are with the champ.
Champ is here.
I only got one message out there. One message. Don't give up, kids. Don't ever give up.
Mm.
Just hustle, loyalty, and respect. Unlike other frauds that sold you that. All right. Welcome to Pick Six, where we cover six teams in the NFL, that being the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Niners, the Packers, the Chargers, and our
Look at that.
wi- winning streak,
Boom.
Steelers. Damn, a winning streak. Wow, man. This is great. This is great. I feel good, man. I do. I feel pretty damn good. I feel on top of the world, at least for the moment. We will see what the rest of the 3 weeks have to give. I
Eesh.
mean, look, we're in the final stretch.
Yep.
Whether anybody look, we're in the final stretch. This is it right here. It's down to the nitty gritty, baby. There's already some teams that their season is over. They're just going out there on that field just to, I don't know, man, just to tell
Take a
their kids
time.
that tell their kids, their great grandkids that they played NFL football. I guess I don't know, but because outside of that, their season is done. All right, Eric, what do we got for Week 16?
Well, their season's done. Ours isn't. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Ours is not. Week six. Well, we got to go with the records.
Oh, yeah, let's go with that. Of
One of
course, you want
us.
to go with that.
That's how we start every one of these shows, Cholo Trucker. Okay, you
Yeah,
know it.
I don't know. I think there's been an episode or two where
I
we didn't start it with that. I,
maybe
I, I
I
think there was one or two where it just didn't start that way. But I guess
maybe I accidentally forgot.
no, there's a such thing as being a horrible winner. So I mean,
That
hey, look, hey, go for it, go for it. The floor is yours. The floor is yours.
okay. All right. So the reigning, defending, undisputed pick six champ of the world has a record of
Hardcore.
40 hardcore.
Hmm.
All right, that one I cannot take lightly. 48, 29, and 1 record, while you, Mr. Cholo Trucker, have a 44, 33, and 1 record. The two games deciding it were the Packers versus Broncos
Mm.
and what was the other game? Oh, the Chargers
KC.
and the Chiefs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I had to make up some ground, and I thought those were a little bit of a toss up. I still would have favored the Chargers over KC, but I'm like, you know what? This is a close enough one where I think I can make up some ground here. And of course, well, we'll talk. I'll talk a little bit more about it when we get to the Chargers.
Okay. All right. So first, we're gonna talk about the Green Bay Packers.
Mm.
All right, with the 9-4, 9-4-1 record. These records are just so weird to say when you have a draw, when you have a tie. Please just don't get so many ties. All right, to every 32 teams out there, try not to get a tie because it is hard to say your record when you have a tie. All right.
Mm.
Going up against the Bears at Soldier Field, Sunday night football. Uh, Bears are 10-4, coming off a win against the Browns. Packers coming off a loss to the Denver Broncos. What do we see here, man?
Yeah, that was another game. I had picked the Packers because I thought, look, would I favor them over the Broncos? Probably not, but I thought they were a good enough team where I'm like, it's not a horrible choice. Um, where's this game going to be at?
At Soldier Field.
Okay, at Soldier Field. Okay, this is a good one, man. I like this matchup. This is, as they like to say, the oldest, right? Um, Gosh darn it. The Bears to me are probably the best team in the NFC.
Ooh,
I know they're not number one in the seeding as it stands now. I know they're not number one in the seeding,
right.
but I think I would favor them over anybody in the NFC. Yes, I do. I do. Just in a one-up game, let's go. I think I would favor them. The only thing when it comes to the Bears, and I know I'm like going far ahead here, is if they could get that number one seed, if every team has to go through Soldier Field, I think it's a done deal, man. But anyway, when
Okay.
it comes to this game right here, man, look, I gotta make up some ground, man. Um,
He's getting desperate.
I definitely favor the Bears, but I gotta go. I gotta see which way you're gonna go on this.
Ball is in my court. Gosh, see, if I mess this up, that make me look stupid. So hopefully
Mm,
I don't mess this up completely, because then I look like the dumb one. Um, Packers lost a lot of players against the Broncos. Michael Parsons, their star player defensively, they lost, and he's going to be out for the rest of the season. I'm not too sure about the injury report for the rest of the team, but they still lost a good portion of players against the Broncos. And even if they do wind up playing, they're not going to be 100%. Give me the Bears in this game. Interesting what you said, though. You said that you would favor them against any team in the NFC. I wouldn't. However, if they do get the first seed, potentially, because the one team that I favor over Chicago for sure is the Rams. But if
right.
it's in Chicago in the postseason, that does make a huge difference. So maybe if they do get that first seed, maybe they are the team that makes it out of the NFC. But I don't see that happening personally. I like Chicago. I like what they're doing. The thing that's going to hold them back, in my opinion, in the playoffs is the lack of experience. But Ben Johnson, one heck of a coach, man. His first season completely turned around the team. So shout out to him, man. And I got the Bears. They should win this game.
You know what? You convinced me because they did lose a lot of players. Yeah, no, I don't think it's a good choice. The Packers are kind of limping right now, and I don't even think, to tell you the truth, man. With just 3 weeks to go, I'm not so sure we see the Packers in the playoffs.
Mm,
Um, they're kind of limping right now. They're in the race, but they're starting to limp. They're cramping up. Their knee is giving out. Their ankle. They're limping, and it seems like other teams are starting to catch up to them on the race. And I just think they're gonna blow them by, man. So yeah, I think the Packers are a wounded runner right now, and just like in a NASCAR race, they got a flat tire, and cars are gonna start passing them up. So you know what? I gotta go with the Bears. I'll make up ground somewhere else.
okay. Well, those are full 3 weeks of picks. All right. So I have to get super crazy. All right. No, I think it's still gonna be a good game. But yeah, it's got to be Chicago, right? They did lose to the Packers early this season. I think it was 2 weeks ago or something. It's not the same Packer team. That's for sure.
and and not only that, like I said, the Bears right now, I'm sure. Look, the Bears are going to the playoffs, but I'm sure that they know and they're telling themselves, guys, if we could get that number one seed, man, ain't nobody in the NFC gonna come to our home in that climate, in that weather, and beat us. So I think it is crucial for the Bears to get these next three games. Obviously, the Rams are going to have to fall apart a little bit, right? But I think it's extremely crucial. They are playing for something because, in my
Yeah,
opinion, for them to make it to the Super Bowl is what do they do in these next three games? Where are they seated at? Because if the NFC has to go to Soldier Field, I I don't favor anybody over them.
that's going to be tough. And that is exactly why. That is exactly why they should not get a dome stadium,
Right,
Chicago, or wherever the suburbs of Chicago, wherever you're going to
right.
have your new stadium. Keep it outdoors.
Yeah.
because that home field advantage goes away when you
Yeah.
get that dome.
Yeah. Be one of those teams. Let all these other teams get a bunch of domes. Be one of those teams that leaves that sucker open, man. And players are used to when it's hot outside, the AC's on. When it's cold outside, the heater's on. When it's raining, you stay dry. When it's snowing, you don't have to worry about. Be one of those teams where it's like, hey, whatever it is outside, you're coming over here and you're dealing with it. So definitely be one of those teams, man, for sure.
All right, so we
I'm
go.
just saying. I'm just saying. Me personally, I would. I would. I
Yeah,
would be like, if I were an owner, we don't want any. Let all those other teams. Let everybody else. Please go get a dome. Go get a dome, please, because you're gonna come and you're gonna deal with the elements, man. When you come over here.
yeah, I think that's what the Bears, the Bears should go about business, man. Next, oh god, I don't even really want to talk about this team. To be honest with you, this one's a layup. I don't know how desperate you really are. This is really going to test it here. All right. Of course, we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. They're going to be at Houston to play the Texans. Of on the rise, Houston Texans, a hot Houston Texans. And I'm not just
Hmm.
talking about the weather that they have over there. All right. And maybe it's not hot anymore since it's December, but you get the point. All right. Raiders 2-12 coming off a loss against Philly where they got shut out. No points. No points. Texas 95 coming off a win against Arizona, scoring 40 points on Arizona. Again, it's against the Cardinals, all right? But still, this one's easy. I'm going to keep it short. Raiders aren't a good football team. Texans are a good football team. That's going to show on the field on Sunday. That's all there is to say. Give me Houston.
I'm gonna keep it short as well. I did not watch a single snap of the Raider game, and we covered them. I did not watch not one single snap. I'm not wasting my time anymore. All the Raider fans that watch, I've told you guys already. You guys need to stop watching. Let the ratings go down. Stop going to any other game. Stop buying their gear. Stop, because I didn't watch. I didn't watch. I knew they were playing, but I didn't. I wasn't gonna watch, man. Just terrible. It's that's gosh awful football, man, as you can see. So yeah, so definitely I'm not picking the Raiders. That's for sure. Yeah,
All
the
right.
Texans. And by the way, I'll focus on the Texans on this one. How about that? Just to
Okay.
give it a little bit of time. Look, you know what? The Texans are actually looking good, man. Um, that AFC South, boy, how the tides have turned. Those Texans, that's their division to win. That's their division to take now. So, I mean, sure, you got the Jags,
Duval.
Indy, Indy now. You know,
This.
Indy now. Look, Philip Rivers, that young kid, he's got his whole career ahead of him. He's a young lad. He'll learn. He'll get better one day. You know what I mean? Don't pick on that young kid too much. But no, man, the Texans, they're getting pretty damn warm, pretty damn hot when it matters.
If I had to pick a sleeper team right now, this current second, it'd be Houston.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, they're doing some good stuff, man.
So I mean, they had a tough first half of the season. They really completely turned it up offensively. They're putting up enough points, which is what the concern was with the
Mm.
Texas team. Now they're putting up points. They put up 40 against. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it, the Cardinals, but still, it's 40 points. All right, that's not easy to do in the National Football League. Texas have been doing it as long as CJ Stroud is moving the ball down the field and the Texans are putting up points. That is going to be a very, very tough team to beat in the postseason.
And by the way, don't be surprised if they put up another 40 this week.
God, I wouldn't be at all. Don't be surprised if they
No.
put up
No.
50.
Yeah. Yeah.
God. All right, next we have the Cowboys hosting the Chargers.
Mm.
Cowboys have a 6-7-1 record coming off a loss against Minnesota prime time that was in Jerry's world. That pretty much eliminated the Cowboys from playoff contention.
Yep.
And you got the Chargers 10-4 coming off a win against Kansas City. What do we have here?
Yeah, so the Cowboys, their season is pretty much done. Yeah, I had a little bit higher hopes for them. They really never got out of that middle of the pile type of mediocre, so decent, okay kind of rhythm. They would look good at times and they would score and their offense would look incredibly good and have a couple of little highlight reels here and there. But yeah, man, they just never really got record wise and winning wise. They just never really broke out. I was because of what their offense was able to do. I was thinking at some point like, okay, these guys are going to go on a winning streak here. They're going to go on a winning streak. Never really got that. Just a win here, a loss there, 2 wins here, 2 losses there. They just always just very mediocre, man. Just average. They were fun to watch, but
Yeah.
as far as the Chargers go, I mean, the Chargers, I, if it weren't for the Denver Broncos, those Chargers, man, they that would be their division, especially what KC is doing. KC's another one. They just got eliminated from the playoffs as well. KC, everyone was talking about them being the next Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Patriots, and it's like, oh, okay. I saw it. I was like, yeah, you know what? They might be. They may not win it every year, but they're always going to be somewhere in the mix. They're always going to be in the AFC Championship game. They're at the very least, going to make it to the divisional round every year, and that's not the case, man. So, um, yeah, give me the Chargers on this one. Give me the
So
Chargers
Jerry's
on this
world.
one.
Does that mean anything? Does that hold any weight
No,
that is in Jerry's
I
world?
don't. Okay, you know what? That's a prime example right there. Okay, that home field advantage, it means absolutely squat when it comes to the Cowboys. It means
Wow.
nothing. There are certain teams where it's like, yeah, you don't want to go play over there. I've never heard any team or anybody at all say that, oh man, that's a tough place to play. It's always just like
Huh.
a circus. Like, hey man, it's Jerry's world. Come have some fun. I've never ever heard anything about Jerry's world. It's tough to play over there, or the fans, or they get loud.
The
Nothing.
elements.
The element, obviously, the elements. Nothing. Nothing at all, man. Nothing at all. And this is the most popular team in the sport. Nothing at all. So to me, that team really, while it's full of Cowboy fans, to me, I there's no type of home field advantage, in my opinion, man.
Whew. Yeah, I like watching this Dallas Cowboy team. They're a fun team to watch. Not a
Hmm.
very successful team, but when a team's able to put up a lot of points, that's always fun to keep up with. They have very entertaining games. You had the game against the Lions. That was a very good game. Sunday night was all right. A lot of the games are typically competitive because of how good their offense is. That's not good enough, apparently, with how bad the defense is. They did try to make some moves, but the Micah Parsons trade has definitely hurt the Cowboys, and that has been showing all year. All right. Chargers are just the better team. I would like to think this isn't maybe this is a trap game. I don't know. Okay. Give me the Chargers here, although they're a little bit banged up. Herbert still technically isn't 100%. I still think why do I feel like saying San Diego when I talk about the Chargers? But I still feel like the Chargers have a good shot at winning this game. So I'm going to pick the Chargers.
I will say this. I will say this. Even though I'm picking the Chargers, I do want to say this, man. I think the Cowboys can still compete with any team because of their offense. So I wouldn't be surprised. I know it made it sound. I made it sound like the Chargers. I'm sorry, like the Cowboys were terrible. They're not terrible. They're just middle of the pack, and they can have some moments where they do look really, really good. So I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game. Um, yeah, it's got to be a punch to the gut, man. That their season is over. How fired up are they really going to be? They're not really playing for anything, you know. I maybe if it was the last game of the season, I would say like, okay, you know what? They want to go out with a bang. Yeah, but at this point, they're going to be playing at home in front of their fans, knowing that we're done. Like, it's just nah. Give me the Chargers.
Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. Maybe one day we'll make our way to Jerry's World. That is a stadium that I would want to go to at some point. All
Hmm.
right. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers walking into Lucas Oil Stadium Monday Night Football to play the Colts. Niners 7-4 coming off a win against Tennessee. Colts 8-6 coming off a loss against Seattle. Now, of course, the storyline is Grandpa Rivers getting his first start as a Colt, 5 years removed from being a Colt, at Lucas Oil Stadium and having it on prime time. That's the story here. Colts are fighting for their lives, and the Niners are fighting for seeding.
You know, Philip Rivers, man. Ah, what can I say? Philip Rivers. Yeah, he still got some spunk in him, man. Did you see him fired up over there doing the kick and the yeah? You know, the guy still got some fire in him. He's got some fire in him. Look, it's fun watching it. Look, it's fun seeing Philip Rivers, an OG, in there. I'm glad he's getting a start. I think it'd be pretty fun to watch that. I'm gonna watch it for sure, man. Um, I'm gonna root for him. I really am gonna root for him. I want him to get this one. I want him to get this one. Notice how I haven't even brought up the Niners.
Yeah, no, you haven't said a word about
No,
them.
no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just sticking with Rivers and the Colts. Okay. I'm gonna pick the Colts here. I'm gonna pick Philip Rivers, the OG. All right. This kid, he's got his whole life ahead of him. Philip Rivers. He's
44
his
years young.
44 years. He's got his whole life ahead of him. His whole career ahead of him. What's left of it? Come on, Philip. Do this one for the OGs, man. Do this one for the old guys. I am going Philip Rivers and the Colts. The other team, the team that they're playing against, you know what?
He's not even calling him by your name. He's
I,
saying the other
it's
team.
you know what? You know what? I can say your name, but I choose not to. I'm gonna choose
Wow.
not to say their name because they're not worth my time. Let's go get it, Philip
Whoa.
Rivers. I go Philip Rivers, baby, and the Colts. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. All right. Look, I mean, they didn't do bad against the Seahawks, right? They didn't do
Mm,
terrible.
mm-hmm.
The offense didn't really do too much, but they barely lost, I guess. You know, if there's a moral victory there for the Indianapolis Colts, I guess that's it. That was in Seattle. Now they're going to be at home. Crowd probably going to get into it. This is the season for the Colts. All right, it's on the line. Do or die. For the Niners, maybe a little less urgent, I guess. God, Niners, what are we doing if we lose this game? Like, seriously. You got to come out with this victory, man, right?
I, I, I don't know why they have to. I do. Why do they have to? I don't think they have to. I mean, you got some guy. Okay, you know Philip Rivers, man. What to me, he is gonna go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks to never win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, the stats show, okay, that he was an elite quarterback. Um, in his best days, and unfortunately, he never got to the big dance. You
Not
know,
even went there.
no, not even went there. At least Dan Marino went to a Super Bowl. That to me, he is the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl, and he only went to one Super Bowl, and that was it, right? But the
Yep.
stats were all there. Philip Rivers is that guy that never actually even went to the dance. So I think there's a chip on his shoulder, man. I think he wants to go out there like this is last hoorah. Are the Colts going to go anywhere? No, they're not. But to at least to him, this is his last shot. To every game for him that he gets to start is a Super Bowl for him. How about that, man? And that other team that's that plays 45 minutes away from the city that they claim, like, nah, dog. They're not. They're doing okay. They're doing all right, man. And I think they will be in the playoffs. But
Okay.
I'm done talking about them. I know people were
All
tapping
right.
in to see what I was going to say about that team that plays 45 minutes away from the city because they thought I was going to flip out on that team. I'm not. I'm not even going to mention them. Let's go, Philip Rivers. Get it for the OGs, homie.
All right. All right. Give me the Niners by 2 possessions here. The Colts did a extremely desperate move because all the quarterbacks were just injured. Getting a quarterback that was 5 years removed from retiring. Although I will say, Philip Rivers isn't in terrible quarterback form, I guess, in terrible shape, you know. So he kept himself all right to be able to play. So I'm not going to knock on Philip Rivers at all. I actually kind of like the fact that he was able to come back. That's actually a little bit inspiring, right? I just don't see it happening. The Colts do have a little bit of a good system. They do have a good team. It's over for the Colts, man, this season. It's over.
Okay, but is this game over for them though?
It's over.
This one game.
It's over.
All right, let's go, man. Let's go. I don't like. Look at this, man. This is ageism. You're over there knocking the guy down because of his age.
I just said he was
Let's
doing
go.
something inspiring.
Let's go. Let's go, Philip. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I can't wait for this game now.
And
I
by the
cannot
way,
wait for this game.
when I said Grandpa Rivers, I wasn't making fun of him. He's legit a grandpa.
And that's even greater. That is so damn good. Gosh, I'm so rooting for this guy. Come on, Rivers. Come on, man. I'm so rooting for this guy. It's unbelievable.
All right, all right. Last but certainly not
Mm.
least, what other team could we possibly be talking about? You got the Pittsburgh Steelers on a hot streak. 2 consecutive wins. One against their arch rivals in the Baltimore Ravens. And the other one on prime time for the whole world to see against the Miami Dolphins. You got the red hot 8-6 Steelers coming off a win against those Dolphins, going in to Ford Field to play the 8-6 Lions, who were coming off a loss against the Los Angeles Chargers. What do we see here? How are you feeling as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan this exact second?
I feel good and concerned.
Mm.
So the Steelers have proven that if you're flying high like a raven, they will take you down. If you're in the water like a dolphin, like Snowflake,
Yeah.
they will drown you. Now we got to see if you're on land like a lion. Okay. All kidding aside here, the Steelers are showing some real good fight. They're
Oh,
showing they're showing some really good energy. I'm liking the energy that they're showing. They didn't have TJ Watt this against the Dolphins. That defense was still looking pretty damn good. I mean, it was the Dolphins, but I just like the energy that I'm seeing from them. I like Aaron. He's fired up. I think that I think that last loss that was so embarrassing really got to them.
As it should.
because
It
because
was bad.
as it should. I mean, I look personally. I've never heard, and I can't ever remember Steeler fans booing Renegade.
Mhm.
When that happened, it just like something different happened. It was just it was different, man. And the fans chanting "Fire Mike Tomlin." Now Mike Tomlin looks fired up.
Yeah.
Now it seems like he's like, holy smokes, I mean, like I got to show something here. I just the whole team looks like they just dipped into the pool of Cocoon. I know that's an old reference because it's an old movie, but it just looks like they just found their youth and just got that fire back. They got the eye of the tiger. How about that one? It looks like Apollo Creed came and said, "We got to get that eye of the tiger back," and he just trained them for that for a week, and now they're back, man. They're ready to take on anybody, including Clubber Lang. So I like what I'm seeing from the Steelers. Am I a believer that they're going to go all the way? No, the talent itself is probably not elite, but the fight and the fire that they're showing, I think it can take them places for sure. It can look. It's the NFL, man. It's not the best out of five. It's not the best out of seven. I know we're not in the playoffs yet, but
But we will be.
you just need an invitation to the dance. In all reality, and it's been proven in this sport, it's been proven. You just need an invitation to the dance, and you
Yeah.
could go all the way. So, look, do I favor the Steelers? No, I wouldn't favor them. But the fire that they're showing right now, hey man, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. It's oozing through the screen, and I'm feeling that fire. And like, yeah, come on, let's go. So this game right here, it's in Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay, in the start of the season, the Lions were for me. I thought we're going to be the top NFC team in the beginning of this season. I was thinking the Lions, they're going to be the number one seed. They're not that. Doesn't mean that they're a bad team. They're still a good team. They're still a force to be reckoned with to a certain degree. I think this would be a tough one, man. This would be a tough one. If the Steelers can get past this one, well, I mean, it's the Steelers. They're going to struggle with any team at some point. I mean, the Steelers are that team, man. Where they, you can never say like, hey, you know what, they got this game on lock. No, not the Steelers. Um, they can win this game, man. And if they do, that's a 3-game winning streak, and they're flying high. So
Almost a full hand.
yeah, almost. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. So I mean, definitely gonna pick my Steelers, but the Lions, just because they're not what they were supposed to be this season, does not mean they are a bad team.
No.
So I by no means whatsoever am counting out the Lions, man. But obviously I'm going with my Steelers. What's your thoughts?
I like how you did the Rocky comparison, because when you're going slightly above 500 every season, when you're so close from breaking a record, right? From holding a title, it gets you a little bit complacent, right?
Yes, yes.
So that made sense. Okay. We saw the same game. On the sideline, Mike Tomlin did have some fire. Mike
Mhm.
Tomlin was coaching with some passion. We haven't seen that in a while. At least not from what we see as fans watching on TV, right? I don't remember last time I've seen Mike Tomlin that fired up. And that's what made him a good head coach. Him being fired up. They need to keep this fire in them. Because that's what's gonna take them to the playoffs. That could potentially get them a playoff win. Is having some sort of fire. Because if they're just going about it, like a 9 to 5 or something like that, yeah, you're just
Mhm.
there. They're first round exits for sure, for sure, and they're definitely not going to be the Detroit Lions like that because the Lions are going to come with some fight. Dan Gamble and
Mhm.
his team are always going to be prepared. And even if they lose, they're not going out without a fight. Okay. I like what I'm seeing from the Steeler team. I haven't said that a lot, within the past few seasons, but I see something a little bit different. And sure, it was against the Dolphins and the Ravens. Ravens aren't necessarily the same team. Dolphins are a little bit of a mess. This is your chance to prove yourself, Steelers. Even though the Lions may not be the same team that they were last season, they're still a good football team. And you're going into the Lions Den, which I hope that's what Lion fans call that stadium, the Lions Den, because it just sounds cool. All right.
Uh-huh.
Come on, Steelers. Come on. In all reality, this game doesn't really mean too much as far as standings wise, but just to get the win would mean so much, man. For the team aspect, I think.
Yeah, definitely will. And the Steelers can still lose this division.
Yeah.
So I mean, to them, it should mean something. Um, you got to get Jalen Warren going. You got to get Kenny G going. Those two guys are doing an incredible job. Those two guys are doing an incredible job, man. What a great 1-2 punch right there, Kenny G and Jalen Warren. Get some of these guys going. Get DK Metcalf going. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. They're starting to gel together as a team, and this is exactly what you want to see from a team towards the end of the season. You don't want to see them play great football and then start falling apart.
Yeah, because we've seen that quite a few times with the Steelers team. And
Right.
I mean, there's still some weeks left, but there is a little bit of a change here, and it's a good change.
Mhm.
So am I getting my hopes up a little bit? Probably. Is that false hope coming to me? Probably.
And that's what makes it worse. That's what makes it worse. When you get so much hope and then they just revert back to what they were when they weren't playing good football, and it's like, dang it, I knew it. So, um, yeah, gosh, man, I am falling into that false hope. I am feeling good about this game, but again, I keep telling myself, don't, just
Uh,
wait it out. Just wait it out. But I mean, I'm trying, man. But I'm feeling that fire. I'm feeling that passion from this team, man, and I just can't help it.
let's hope that the fire Tomlin chants and the booing of Renegade was really a wake up call. That's the best that we could hope for here.
And they should know to never give up.
Mm.
Hustle, loyalty, and respect. Never tap out like some other frauds that we've known in life. Anything else, Eric, before we wrap it up, man?
Other than the fact that you're trying to get into my head, no. I like the message that you put out there. That was a message that I heard throughout my entire childhood.
Mm, yeah, yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
before we wrap it up, all right, so what's our final picks for week 16, man?
Let me get this up for a second.
We
Let's
got
see.
3 weeks of football left, at least for the regular season. At least for the regular season.
Oh, yes. So, Packers versus Bears. I went with the Bears, or we both went with the Bears.
We both went with the Bears, yeah.
Okay, Sunday Night Football. That should be a banger of a game.
Mm.
Raiders Texans. Surprise, surprise. We both went with the Texans.
I'm not wasting my time watching Raider games anymore.
Okay, how about watching a Texans game? Will you watch
I,
this
I,
game for
I'll,
the Texans?
I'll tap in. I'll tap in here and there to check the score, yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. And you got the Cowboys hosting the Chargers. We both went with the Superchargers here.
That should be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got the 49ers going up against Grandpa Rivers. You went with Grandpa Rivers.
Let's go, Rivers. Let's go. One for the OGs, homie. Let's go.
I took the Niners with a little less enthusiasm. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. Then for the 125 game Pacific Standard Time, we went with the Steelers. Steelers versus the Lions at the Lions Den. Yes, I'm going to call it that. All right. We both went Pittsburgh.
Turn them into kitty cats. All right, man. That is our picks for week 16. We are coming down to the nitty gritty, man. for the Bad Bunny concert. So we will see what happens, and we got Christmas games coming up next week. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to figure something out on that one. We'll see what we do.
Some great games on Christmas.
Hey, Netflix is chiming in on the NFL now, so everyone's trying to get their hands on that, man. But that's a video for another one, for another day. That is our picks for Week 16, and we will see you guys for Week 17.